Hi all, it's Red Sphere here from Sphere System. This week's video is going to be on signals in TBMC systems and their potential their effects and so on and so forth. Yeah. So I'm feeling a little out of it. I was out too much yesterday working on the video, so probably going to be yeah, a little spacey on this, but I'm gonna try and get this done. Signaling in TBMC stuff. I mean, on first glance, is similarly to queuing, in that they are both ways of communicating information to a they're both there to communicate with the system. The difference is that signaling is just transmitting information across, whilst queuing is, of course, direct commands instead. Yeah. So can be used obviously in terms of ways to exist as discussing information in ways that don't arouse suspicion, and reminding people of things that are important to be reminded of, apparently. Yeah. Okay. And so an example of that would be the signal for being watched continuously. That so if there's a belief being built that one is constantly being watched, randomly having the "you're being watched" signal shown by various individuals who are members of the org to the one who's having that message imprinted would be of value, for example, in that particular instance, and is likely to occur. The other common use is identification, so signaling to other people you meet that sending out signals that, hey, I'm part of this group, to other people you meet, and then you can send the same signal or other signals that match to whatever group they are part of, such that if you're in the same, such that if you're in aligned groups, there's awareness of that, and if there are members of a group who have been obviously knowing who else is part of the same groups and knowing who can be quote unquote trusted effectively, that sort of thing, who information can be fed to in case of TEL protocols, that sort of thing. Knowing additionally, of course, it's often roles within the org as well. There may even be hey, we're trying to get out from this org signals specifically, which may be used by as forms of identification, so that then on those on the lookout for escapees can pick up on that, because they have signals matching that particular they know what their org and aligned orgs escapee signals are, and then can pick up on that and force a recontact that way by the because they are strangers to that body effectively, but still aligned organizationally. They can pull it members back. They can pull bodies back in and victims back in by building a position of trust with them again, and from there, effectively doing as they will. That's certainly a possibility. Yeah. It's not the only option, of course, but it is one to watch for, certainly. Yeah. So the concern with signaling is less about deprogramming, although there may be obviously some desire to deprogram members who are automatically sending particular signals out. The thing that's really desirable is, of course, learning those signals, and then they can be acted on in a more calm and rational manner rather than going entirely off the emotions receiving those signals provokes. Additionally, of course, with knowing signals, you can then consciously catch people who are not to be trusted because they are part of an organization that is either that is closely aligned, that is aligned to the one you're attempting to escape from, and from there avoid those people, or at least avoid trusting those people. And if you know signals as well, you can attempt to avoid giving them out, which, yeah, is of course valuable because if you can avoid giving them out, knowing if you can, or at least know what signals you've given out as well, and then avoid them better in future, that gives you a degree of safety and control, which is, of course, valuable. Yeah, okay. So, learning signals is a slow, time-consuming process. It involves a lot of talking to those in the system who know a signal, and then going from there. It's especially a difficult process as it is quite rare for well, it depends on the variance in splitting capability, because yeah, a lower split capability will lead to fewer individuals knowing more of the signals, which is of course helpful for attempting to learn those signals, but yeah, does potentially make it harder to learn any at all, in that it's possible that there will be more resistance, whereas the one knowing more of the signals, or the ones knowing more of the signals, there are fewer people to convince, which has advantages and disadvantages, in that, of course, fewer people means that on successful convincing you get more, but it does also mean potentially a harder time convincing any of them to tell anything, and lower likelihood of there being any chinks in the armor of that particular set of defenses effectively for the org, because there's less to it. On the other hand, given that the orgs tend to prefer to separate them out as much as possible, it's reasonable to assume that it is, in fact, an overall slightly easier thing. But that's very much a matter of speculation based on knowledge of preference in regards to the separation levels that could be misguided. So yeah. Yes, okay. So obviously, learning the signals comes then down to once you know them, then from there, learning signals going from headmate to headmate of those who know them, and discussing with them what signals they know and learning them. Would generally recommend writing them down somewhere such that they are more easily accessible in future, rather than depending on memory alone. Although, of course, this does come with risks, as having things written down, especially if you're not in a safe location yet, can alert those around to your level of knowledge and awareness, and can make things a lot more difficult. So would always recommend caution with especially physical notes, but even digital ones, given how hard they are to secure from an org you are still somewhat embroiled with, shall we say. Yeah, I think that's what we've got on this for now. If anything more comes up, we'll make an update video on this subject, of course. Yeah.
This system signing out. Hope to catch you all next week. Please do remember to like, subscribe, comment, especially if you've got any questions you want answered. Be happy to answer them either in the comments or in another video. So catch you all next week.